Silicon Valley is breaking laws left, right, and center. They're paying off Congress to ignore that, and Congress relies on them to violate your First and Fourth Amendment rights. You see how this works? It's a never-ending circle jerk, and you are the chick down on her knees with your mouth open and eyes closed.
Oh, I didn't see you there. I'm reading this book, and it quite possibly is the best book ever written because I'm in it! Winning! If you want to know the rate of return on dating whamming, you need to buy the Book of Numbers. There's a link in the description, you know, down there in the penis area. Meet Gazer!
What's going on, you soy-guzzling fairy dusters? I'm Blake, this is Popp.
Up!
And welcome to a ride and roast with two Richards in a tiny car.
Shut up, man. This
Well,
is my juke.
This is the juke.
I know I'm getting 2 homo suspicion points for it, but
Minimum.
minimum. But you know, that pickup truck gets like 9 miles to the gallon.
Oh, and the heat is always on.
And the heat is always on.
So for, when we're going into spring and summer and we're actually going to start to get some hot temperatures, you're going to be seeing a lot more of the juke. But speaking of people who are not just better than you, but a lot better than you, Starbucks!
Yeah! Remember them? Those socialist, soy-serving, sucking dick motherfuckers?
Oh, I hate Starbucks so much. I hated Starbucks before they started all this crap because their coffee doesn't taste like coffee. It's basically a breakfast milkshake.
I used to go once in a while and get a mocha and like one of their items from the bakery thing they have.
Oh, are they halfway decent? Or
No, I mean, they're okay.
You know what I miss around here is Caribou coffee. That was coffee that tasted like coffee. It wasn't as expensive as Starbucks. The people in there tended to be nicer, and better yet, they kept their fucking nose out of everybody's political business.
They just want to serve coffee. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all, because that's what we pay you for.
Exactly.
Wah. But now, Starbucks is considering quitting Facebook because of hateful responses to its woke posts on social issues.
And you know what? I hope they fucking do. Can't stand those bastards.
When did people start going to stores for their political opinions? When did people start going to movies for politics? The answer is never.
That's why a lot of these places are failing.
Yeah.
What was it? The Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
You've got to do better, Senator. You've got to step up.
Okay, what's your solution? I don't know, I'm just an actor. Exactly, shut your fucking mouth.
But they tried to straddle the fence with Winter Soldier, and end result, they lost more viewers.
What is that? What the is that?
You can't make everyone happy.
No.
I mean, you do. And I would try to, do my deal, but every once in a while, you get that one person who's just a cunt, and I'd be like, yeah, okay. And then they would complain to my boss, and he would like, hey, what happened? I'm like, hey, you can't make everyone happy.
All of the best movies that you and I have ever seen were made for a specific audience, but because it was told from that point of view so well, everyone could understand it. And then you wind up making a universal entertainment by understanding something through like 1 or 2 characters' eyes. Like E.T. is clearly a movie meant for kids.
Yep.
It's a movie shot from the child's point of view. It's not a quote-unquote movie for adults. But because it does what it does so f***ing well, everybody loves it.
I loved it.
Now you've got Rise of Soy Woker, a movie that tried to please everyone at the same time, and as a result, you wind up making a movie that impresses no one.
That recycled the exact same plot.
And you know what? After The Last Jedi, I was ready to just throw all in and say, you know what? It's official. Star Trek is better than Star Wars. But then they started f***ing up the Star Trek series, too!
I know!
Son of a bitch! Knock it off. Go back to making good shit.
Hey, let them keep doing what they're doing, and you know what? A different Hollywood will pop up to make the money that the current Hollywood is leaving on the table.
Yeah, let's just start watching Bollywood movies. Yeah, let's watch a bunch of Indian chicks get naked before they slam into the wall at 28. Seriously, what is up with Indian women when they're young? Oh, wow.
You look good?
But yeah, it's like as soon as they pop out their first kid, they're like, okay, let the mummification process begin. Starbucks is reportedly considering closing its Facebook page as a result of the hateful comments in response to some of their posts. An internal memo obtained by BuzzFeed showed concern within Starbucks at the rhetoric on the site. When you think about quality, hard-hitting, truthful journalism, you go to BuzzFeed.
That's right.
They should call it Ballsfeed, because that's exactly what's going on. Wasn't BuzzFeed the one of the companies that leaked the Steele dossier about the Russian piss hooker scam thing?
I don't remember, but I know I have been tracking that they've been laying off a lot of people.
Oh yeah, Missing Link Media is starting to really feel the sting of get woke, go broke.
And since they don't have Trump in office anymore, who are they going to write about?
And the funny thing is that they're still trying to blame him for everything, even though he's basically receded into the background, other than launching his new social media.
Well, he wants to start doing the rallies again, which I think is a damn good idea.
And he'll still get more people than Joe Biden on his best day.
Yes, he will.
And all of Joe Biden's best days are behind him, just like his gay lover in the Oval Office.
Yeah, Mike Obama.
Make sure you squirt that nice and deep, Starbucks. I like my soy as a suppository.
God damn.
Starbucks mainly posts information about their beverages on the page. Yeah,
sure.
Unicorn cum out of a styrofoam cup, which is followed by 35 million people. I think we just found Joe Biden's voter base.
You know what? We should go into Starbucks with a hidden camera and film how much the stuff costs, and then you and I talk about blatant Republican right-wing shit and see everyone flip out, and if anyone freaks out, we'll film the shit out of them.
If Starbucks is even allowing people back in, because they are so left, they're so far off in left field that most of the lobbies in those places still are not even open yet for people to go in and order drinks. You have to go through the drive-thru, which is why a lot of them went out of business.
Well, that's the reason that we've had a lot of accidents at 13 and Woodward, because there's a Starbucks there and people are in the street.
That used to be a Blockbuster video.
Yeah.
And hopefully, just like Blockbuster, Starbucks becomes an obscure historical find of the past.
I hope they become a angry pimple on the ass of humanity.
Yes.
Yes.
Pop it and move on.
No, let it fester and weep.
Ugh. And then eventually it'll break open on its own, and then all you got is dirty pus.
Oh, God, that's so rancid!
With just a little tint of soy.
Oh, God, stop it.
Oh!
I'm getting a lump of vomit.
But
yeah,
they also respond to social issues such as the conviction of Derek Chauvin for the murder of George Kirby Taylor Floyd and the wave of anti-Asian attacks
perpetrated by
stunning and brave African-American gentlemen.
And they are 13% of the population and do what?
Over half of the violent crime.
Yeah.
At some point, when you see a statistic like that, you either have to completely disconnect your thinking meat and say, it's all my racism's way, or you have to accept the fact that personal responsibility has to enter into the real world at some point.
Yeah. And here's another thing. A majority of that violent crime is committed between 16 and 38-year-olds. So of that 13% of the gross population,
you got a fraction within that fraction.
Roughly 4.5% to 5% of our gross population.
And 75% of them are born out of wedlock, and 85% of the people in prison didn't have a father at home. It's almost like there's a correlation there that has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture.
When I used to bring those stats up with some of my former liberal friends,
how dare you?
I would say they come right from the Uniform Crime Report, and they're like, well, I don't trust that source. I'd be like, oh.
They don't trust that source until they trust that source.
No, I know. It's like, oh,
you notice?
So all of your opinions are being basically formed on other people's opinions, not on facts.
Yeah. Even when you give them the facts in black and white, they don't want to admit it. And they will flip their opinions on a dime, just like they did with the poke and smoke.
Yep.
When Trump was in office, it is so bad, I don't trust these evil monolithic corporations.
I would never get that shot. Listen, I am center right, and I'm not getting that f***ing shot.
You're a smart man.
Here's a couple of their totally not fiscal-based ideals. You know, they really feel this way. They're so concerned about people and not just the money in their wallets. They have to post shit like this. We stand united with our Asian American, and Pacific Islander partners, employees, in parentheses, and customers who are experiencing ongoing racism and an increase in violent attacks. Okay, how can you honestly stand with both BLM and against Asian hate crime? That's like getting caught cheating by your wife, and her just a friend guy is the one plowing you in your fourth point of contact and going, I'm not gay. It was just one time. That don't count.
No, I'm bi.
It only counts if he finishes in there and not my mouth.
Oh my God. Stop. Stop!
He's gonna puke! He's gonna puke!
Stop!
I don't want to.
And seriously, why is everything an acronym now? Because now, when you're talking about Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, it's an AAPI community. Everything's an acronym.
Well, I break everything down to acronyms.
But ours are at least funny, and they make other words, like slunt.
Yep. Slutty, loose, useless, nuptial taint.
Exactly.
Because I'm trying to make up words that are worse than
Or my personal favorite, beef. Old, bitchy, entitled, expensive, and fat. Starbucks is in the process of evaluating their organic presence on Facebook and whether they should continue to have a presence on the platform at all. Anytime they post organically, whatever the hell that means, in regards to social issues or their mission and values work, i.e., burning, looting murderers or limp, gay, butt-twerking queers, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God. It's so bad! That's hilarious!
Sustainability, climate change, etc. They are overwhelmed by negative/insensitive hate speech-related comments on their post. Oh, who gives a flying shit? You want to hear what some of these so-called hate speech comments actually entail?
Yeah.
Just stop and stick to coffee. That's not hateful?
No, they're just saying, stop the politics, I just want coffee.
Yeah.
This is their fan base saying, listen, stop what you're doing, I just want coffee.
That's it. That's all.
Guess what? If they keep doing what they're doing, they're not even going to be able to serve coffee to people.
I have not gone into Starbucks in over a year. I used to go at least 2 or 3 times a week. It's far too many. I got completely fed up with their pushing their agenda down my throat. And so you went home and got it from the source.
Because, that's acceptable.
Or, she's got a bull that her husband hired for her. Because sometimes instead of vanilla, you want chocolate.
My God, you go to the worst places, bro.
I know.
You need to get adjusted or something. Jesus, you're worse than I am. Nah, well,
Hey, what's worse yet is when you get all 3 at the same time and you have a Neapolitan hot fudge sundae.
Stop!
With extra whipped cream.
Stop! Oh! God damn it!
There's your Urban Dictionary definition.
I just ate Del Taco, you bastard!
Oh, you're gonna puke up all that meat and cheese just like Ruth Mellon.
Oh, God, stop it! Stop it, man! God damn, you're on fire!
One day.
You are on fire.
One day I'm gonna make you sick. One day. And then, after that, I will stop. Because my job is done. Love the employees, but Starbucks itself, it loves me spending my money there, but being a hard-working, self-sufficient person, does not love me so much.
Stop giving them your money!
Okay, we're gonna have to go with a big off.
If you go to Starbucks 4 to 5 times a week and you spend average of $8, inside of 3 months you would have enough money to buy all the equipment that you need.
Oh, yeah.
And get all of the ingredients that you want.
Yep.
So you can make whatever you want before you get in the car
and
to
it'll
go
be
to work.
Better coffee. But think about this too. Let's say, an average cost of a coffee over there, breakfast milkshake, over at Soy Latte Starbucks in the butt. $6 maybe, minus tip.
Well, I'm adding the tip in there for $8.
No. It's the pink-haired barista in there who gets the tip, if you know what I mean.
Ah, yeah, just
So you're talking $8 every time you go. Now, if you're one of those people who stops there every day, and especially if you're a dude, you might as well have a smoking habit. Because it's just as expensive, and if you're drinking soy, it's just as bad for you.
And what if you have both? You're fucked.
You're checking out at 55, not 65.
You're effed. You're effed in the A, and not in a good way. If you were gay, if you know what I say. Dude, I'm such an asshole.
Now go to your yoga class and do your downward-facing dog so that I can show you my hog. I mean, that is the most effective way to get your soy injection, from what I understand. Just ask President Biden.
Come on, man.
Or you can ask Obama his
A Big Mike!
Oh, dude. Listen, I can't make this up.
No, you can't.
This is hilarious.
You chose a man to lead this country twice whose wife has a bigger dick than him.
How dare you?
I bet whenever Big Mike put the hose to Barry in the back of the presidential limo, it looked like somebody stuffing a Cornish hen with a baseball bat.
I wonder if the Secret Service that worked really close with him on a regular basis, they had to sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. Because you know what? When you're that close to somebody and you see things, you hear things.
Yeah.
You know, and oh my God. And those Secret Service guys, I mean, I knew a dude, he's retired now. He was on the Secret Service detail that worked in the White House, and he used to walk around with Clinton and his which starts with a capital B, Whiffy. And first of all, she smelled horrible.
Oh, I bet.
Her breath was atrocious. And all she did was just nag that guy half to death.
It would not surprise me.
Is there a reason? Dude, no wonder he flew to Epstein's Island 26 times.
Ugh.
To get away from that insane, insufferable Kionda.
Well, you know, when you put it that way, it just sounds downright sensible. Like, well, you know, I could, get a massage from a barely legal, Thailand hooker, or I could hang out with this bitch.
Yep. And she used to berate these guys, and they'd be like, "Yes,
oh,
ma'am.
yeah.
Yes,
ma'am.
Yeah. And their turnover rate was really high because a lot of guys just couldn't take it.
Yeah.
To get me the fuck out of here. Send some noob in here to pay his dues.
But after that trip into the weeds, let's go back to some comments.
Listen, people watch this show for the trips into the weeds.
Jenny's out here deleting comments, calling out their emotional manipulation and willingness to paint a narrative before the investigation is even done. All correct. See, these are not hateful or insensitive or negative. They are factual.
That's right.
But in a day and age where people who have, created a lifestyle out of avoiding the truth, I suppose that's bigotry.
Well, if you use facts and it hurts their feelings, then they call it hate speech because their feelings are hurt. Think about this. How mentally weak are you if I can speak words and flip switches in your thinking meat that cause you all kinds of emotional turmoil?
Oh, yeah. People fly off the handle now when you tell them the truth.
That's right.
And it's just pure evidence that they have been brainwashed by the 1.8 million confirmed stunning and brave egg roll infiltrates that have,
Correct.
corrupted every annal of our society, not to be confused with anal of our society.
You know what? I hope they release that list.
I always look for commentary on current events from a coffee company, which is hilarious, but the response is really where the money's at.
Yeah.
And I always look for unwanted and bigoted comments from a white guy. Says the unwanted bigoted comment from a white bitch.
The left throws out these bigoted comments all the time.
Where did Gary, the guy who wrote the first comment, bring up race or sex at all? And he's the bigot. Sarah Elizabeth Smith, go back to doing what you do best. Swallowing. Because while you're doing that, you can't talk. Starbucks deliberations come as Facebook is facing a reckoning over the content allowed on its pages. The social media giant last week ruled that Donald Trump's page could not be restored amid continuing fears about his power to spread unrest and incite violence, two things that he never did.
No.
Objectively.
He never did that. Listen, I was there on January 6th. I heard exactly what the man said.
Yep.
And then after that, I went right to my hotel room because I knew things were going to heat up.
And isn't it funny how no one is even bringing up the fact that these social media giants actually violated a U.S. federal Supreme Court ruling by banning Donald Trump?
Yep.
He was still the president at the time.
And
Well,
where's the lawsuits for that?
technically he still is, but we're not even going to get into that. Silicon Valley is breaking laws left, right, and center. They're paying off Congress to ignore that, and Congress relies on them to violate your First and Fourth Amendment rights. You see how this works? It's a never-ending circle jerk, and you are the chick down on her knees with your mouth open and eyes closed. Last week in the United Kingdom, the Premier League and its 20 associated soccer teams boycotted Facebook and Instatwat, which is owned by Facebook, for 4 days in an attempt to bring awareness to the constant racisms and abuse that players face on those platforms. Well, you do play soccer.
Yes.
The gayest sport in the world. In 2020, Starbucks was one of hundreds of companies to stop advertising on Facebook as part of the Stop Hate for Profit campaign, which sought to pressure the world's largest social network into taking a harder stance on racist and hateful content. So literally, you have corporations leaguing together to push censorship.
Yep.
Isn't that great?
That's that.
There's another name for that. Fascism.
Yeah. But guess where Antifa stops for coffee every morning? Because it's probably free.
Come on in, this place is not so different from your neighborhood Starbucks, they write. It's a place where people from all over come together for conversation and great coffee.
Unless you're a conservative, and then you can't even...
It is a place where people come together to live in an echo chamber. If you are actually trying to force social media companies to censor opinions that you don't like, that's not open for conversation and great coffee.
No.
The only thing that you're opening is your butthole. Sanja Gould, a Starbucks spokesperson, would not confirm if the coffee company was considering removing its Facebook page. She told BallsFeed that the Seattle-based company stands against hate speech, unless they're the ones slinging it.
Yeah.
Like an old bird feeder.
They're from the city that's being burned down by the left and attacked and destroyed by the left.
And now the governor of Washington wants to implement critical race theory in all public schools. If you live in Washington, move.
Get the f*** out of there.
Children in Washington and California are never going to grow up to be adults. Fact.
They'll reach the age of adulthood, but there will be nothing but permanent victims.
In other words, they will be utterly useless human beings who do not have a productive bone in their body, and they will expect people like you and I to pad their pockets with stolen taxpayer dollars.
At gunpoint.
Yep.
They should already be totally bankrupt and destitute. They're spending so much money and giving it away on bullshit.
Okay, let's say you loan somebody money.
Yep.
Right? And it gets to the point where they are $30 trillion in debt to you. And instead of paying you back, they ask for more, and they're taking the money that you give them and they're loaning it out to their friends. How soon would you show up at their house and kick the ever-loving shit out of them? I'm just asking for a friend.
And take all their shit?
Exactly.
That's what I would do. We're going to wind up doing what Russia did. We're going to go bankrupt, tits up, two tits to the sky, and people are going to suffer greatly.
We're going to have a Chernobyl moment.
Yes, we are.
While some changes have been implemented, we believe more can be done to create welcoming and inclusive online communities that only believe what we believe. You forgot to add that last part in there.
Yes.
We work collaboratively with all companies we do business with to ensure any advertising done on our behalf is in alignment with our branding standards. Fascism. The real stuff. Just like Joe Biden, now he wants to outsource spying on your private shit to third-party companies.
Hypothetically, they already record every single cell phone conversation in America.
But most popular president ever.
And the only reason there aren't more warrants going out for people talking on these phones It's because they only have limited staff.
Yep.
Going through that much data is just an absolute nightmare.
That's why they want to outsource it now. Once again, the government circumventing the Constitution and using third-party multinational billion-dollar corporations to do it.
And you know what? Since you can technically sue the shit out of them if they release any of your personal information, because they're a private institution, and they're not protected by this whole qualified immunity horse shit.
So we should all get together and sue Facebook for selling our private data to China. But there needs to be some constitutional amendments implemented regarding the internet. If it is the new town square, it needs to be treated as such. Any company that censors opinions that do not overtly call for violence, you're a company, you eject somebody from your platform over that, boom, civil rights violation. You can be sued.
I would love to see that. I really would. But the thing is, that's putting your faith in a court system that we all know is corrupt now. So
yeah, the Supreme Court still won't listen to the Arizona audit. I'm like, really? You fucking traitors. Who threatened your family? Was it Zuckerberg? Was it Biden himself? The globalist, marionette string pullers? Come on.
It's going to get ugly, man. It's going to get ugly.
The good news, I will say, is that a lot of this federal bullshit will not trickle down to the state level.
I hope not.
Because even, let's just say pot is still federally illegal, but there are states that have passed their own laws in regards to it, so they're not going to enforce the federal law. The same thing can be true for all this bullshit that we see going on up there.
That's right.
So the best thing that you can do if you were living in a blue state like California, Stan, Washington, Michigan, where we are, because we're already looking into it, get the fuck out of Dodge. Don't go to a red state just because it's a red state. Research your politicians. Like Phil Scott in Vermont is basically a Democrat with an R after his name. That asshole who's running Ohio completely cucked out over the Yahoo. So
plus Ohio's boring. It's so flat and fucked up. I've been to Ohio a lot.
The only interesting thing that occasionally happens in Ohio is that you'll drive by like an Amish wagon, and once in a while they'll flip you off. That's the most interesting thing in Ohio.
I would love to see that.
But our photographer Keith lives down in Ohio. Speaking of which, Keith, I hope you're watching this because we need some new pictures taken.
Yeah!
Yeah! So, any last words for Starbucks?
Well, first of all, if you guys watch this show, don't give them your money at all. All right? It's a bunch of horse shit. Find Black Rifle Company, coffee, or any other coffee company other than Starbucks. I mean, don't give them your money.
No.
That's all I have to say.
Their product is shit, and what they're doing with your money is trying to take away your free speech.
Yeah, and they're financing communism.
Because they're stupid enough to think that they're going to be party members. They're not. They're going to be subjugated and standing in bread lines like the rest of us.
Amen to that.
All these idiots out there who think communism is just like this utopian thing. That's one of my favorite things about them. They say, oh, the Constitution is outdated. It's written by a bunch of old dead white dudes who didn't really, they don't get it. Okay. What color and sex was Karl Marx? Just asking for a friend.
Yeah.
He's an old dead white dude. He's just like the academics who preach his bullshit. He didn't understand the real world. He had no idea what the he was talking about. Every single thing that he wrote about was the product of research and not actual lived experience.
Yep, and his truth.
Just like these academics who hide away in institutions where the only thing that they can do with their degree is teach their major.
Yep, and communism came about because the Tsar starved 2/3 of the country to finance World War I. When you can't feed your family, when you can't go to work, when you can't heat your house, bad shit is going to happen. Because once those people start moving in a direction, it's really hard to stop.
It's not going to go anywhere good.
No, it is not.
And that's why they're trying to rewrite the history books or burn them. Let's just put it this way. People who burn or rewrite history books know they're lying to you.
They fear the truth. If you have to burn something or take it away from the general population, it's because the people who are doing that are afraid of the truth.
Kind of like censoring people on social media.
Correct.
See how it all comes full circle? Mm-hmm. Just like your ex-wife at the fireman's hall?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Dude, I'm gonna get fucking sued, man. Can you stop it? I'm gonna get fucking sued, man. I'm just waiting for, like, the cervical cancer. I really am.
HPV.
One can only hope.
Heavily penised vagina.
Dude, we have to write that down. Oh. God damn, that's good. We gotta write that down back.
Well, with that being said,
I think we're done here.
I think we're done here.
Holy shit.
Join us for Grunt Speak Live every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, DLive, and MGTOW.tv. Soon to be Manosphere.tv, and we're going to be adding Odyssey and Rumble to the mix.
Sweet nectar.
We're going to be everywhere.
That's
just
right.
like heavily penised vagina.
Oh my god. That's hilarious.
Oh, good time.
All right.